a smile. Look at the camera and smile. Ready? Okay. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Dan Udy reporting for duty. As promised, today we are doing our raw vegan cracker recipe for you. And when we get done, this is what this is going to look like. These delicious crackers, 100% raw vegan, well, maybe not 100%. Very, very high raw vegan crackers. I don't know if you can hear this. They're crunchy. They're so delicious. You can dip these in guacamole, salsa, raw vegan hummus, raw vegan cheeses. The list goes on and on. So what you're going to need for this, well, before we get started, I want to introduce our guest for today. This is my beautiful wife, Angela. My son, Warren Udy, coming in.
Hey.
And his good friend, Aria Washington, also going to be helping out. So thank you guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. You're going to need a food processor. You're going to need a knife. We recommend Cutco. I'll put the link in the description.
It's not a sponsored ad.
It's not sponsored yet, but Cutco, if you're listening, we'll put the link in the description box below. Something to chop on, cutting board, measuring cups, obviously, a bowl to mix, and a dehydrator, preferably the 9-tray Excalibur with the flexible sheets. I don't know what they're called, but we'll put the description in, or the link in the description below. So I'm going to run through the ingredients real quick, which are also going to be listed in the description so that we have, you know, everything you're going to need.
Okay, we need 3 Roma tomatoes.
3 Roma tomatoes. Now these do need to be organic, and can you guess why? Anyone? Why do they need to be organic?
So they can be vegan?
Well, tomatoes are vegan.
Dirty dozen list.
The Dirty Dozen. Tomatoes are on the Dirty Dozen, which means if you don't buy anything else organic, definitely buy the Dirty Dozen. Stay away from buying anything non-organic on the Dirty Dozen. So next we're going to need
1.5 red onions.
1.5 raw onion. I've already prepped those and chopped them up. You can use other kinds of onions. I just prefer red, but whatever you'd like. What else?
1 cup of sunflower seeds.
Cup of sunflower seeds. Now these are going to need to be soaked, and the way we do these is we soak a whole bunch, and then we dehydrate them, and then we store them. So they're already pre-soaked, ready to go. Every time we need them for a recipe, we have all the nuts and seeds already soaked and ready to go.
A cup of almonds soaked.
1 cup of almonds soaked.
Yes, and half a cup of walnuts.
Half a cup of walnuts.
Half a cup of pecans.
Half a cup of pecans.
2 tablespoons of garlic powder.
Garlic powder. Now, you can get raw vegan garlic powder. I don't know where. Mom got this, but
Probably Amazon.
Probably Amazon. But if you just go to the store, a lot of this isn't raw, so it doesn't necessarily need to be 100% raw, but you can get raw garlic powder.
It's 111, make a wish.
Okay, half a cup of nutritional yeast. 2 teaspoons of salt. 5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning.
And the only reason I said 5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning is you can't really get the tablespoon inside of this, so we're going to use 5 teaspoons instead.
1 cup of flax seeds milled, and 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 1 tablespoon of basil.
And we do have 6 pounds of cayenne pepper. You might be asking, why have 6 pounds of cayenne pepper, Dan? First of all, I've already used 1 pound. It's a whole lot cheaper if you buy it in bulk. So if you're on a budget, buy a lot of cayenne pepper.
That's it.
All right, that's it. So let's open up the smoothie station, which is what we have here underneath the counter. One of the selling points of this home. We pull this up, and as you can see, we have our smoothie station with our Vitamix.
I didn't even know I had that.
And what's that?
I didn't know I had that.
Oh yeah, surprise! We have this.
Arya didn't know we had this.
It gets used multiple times a day.
Yeah, some days we use this over 5 times in one day. So we'll take this part off and we'll attach our food processor attachment to the Vitamix. And then we'll take the lid off and this thing's ready to roll. So while I'm chopping up the tomatoes, Angela is going to have the kids start to not make too much of a mess by putting the ingredients inside. Actually, you think it'd be better to put that over here? Sure. Until we get everything inside of it.
Okay, guys. Put in the sunflower seeds. 1 cup of sunflower seeds. All right, and then we need a cup of almonds. So we're gonna have to get the almonds. Hang on. Right there. 1 cup. That's not those ones.
He did wash his hands, so we're.
Or you could just scoop it in there. Just scoop it. Nope. Nope.
So hard. My dad's cutting onions.
That's
Watch
good.
out for tumors.
That's good. Okay, we're gonna do half a cup. Get the half a cup.
Okay.
We're gonna do half a cup of walnuts.
The walnuts are
Here.
there. Thanks. I love almonds.
Yep. And we're gonna do half a cup of pecans.
Why is there so much nuts in that?
It does have a lot of nuts and a lot of seeds, which is one of the things that make these taste so delicious.
Oh.
Okay, now we're gonna let Warren do the tablespoons of garlic powder. Warren got the tablespoons?
Oh, there it is.
We're gonna do 2 tablespoons.
And you don't have to use 2 tablespoons. I just really like garlic.
And we should have it.
It is a lot of garlic, but again,
And you push
garlic
it.
is
See how
delicious.
you push on the side? I want to do 2 full ones. There you go.
Nice.
Do 1 more.
It smells good.
Oh yeah, already smells good.
We're going to do half a cup nutritional yeast.
Nice. And again, that's a lot of nutritional yeast, but nutritional yeast gives these crackers a very cheesy flavor and makes them taste very delicious.
2 teaspoons of salt.
Aria's not even raw vegan, and she likes them, right, Aria?
Yeah. She's actually just my neighbor, so
She's not
comes
just
over.
your neighbor. She's like one of your best friends. You say 2 teaspoons? Okay. 2 teaspoons of salt.
5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning.
5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a little girl. Okay.
All right, 1 cup of flaxseed milled.
We're gonna wait till the end to do those. So what's that next?
1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
1 teaspoon cayenne pepper. And I'm gonna tell you guys why we're gonna do
Can I
those.
do this teaspoon?
Yeah, you can do this one. We're gonna wait to the end to do the flax seeds, and I'll show you why.
1 tablespoon of basil.
Basil. Okay. Basil. Are you gonna do this one too?
I love basil leaf.
Yeah,
so-
Warren likes to eat raw basil.
Yeah, actually, me, I'm hungry.
Both of you? Nice. Okay.
I just got a leaf of basil.
Nice. Is that it? All right. So that's it for now. So we'll take the food processor over to the Vitamix. We'll put the lid on here.
You don't want the lid off, or else it'll go all
That's
over
right.
the place.
All right. I'm gonna turn it on. It's gonna be kind of loud. All right. That's pretty good. We are gonna need the spatula real quick to pull down. No, it's actually in the bowl.
Oh, use this one.
So sometimes it gets a little sticky on or some stuff gets stuck on the side, so you can take your spatula and just kind of get all this back into there. And then we'll go ahead and turn it on for another minute or 2. Aria, you want to turn it on? Just push down. Alright, now once we're done with this, we're going to take everything that's inside of here and we're going to transfer it into this bowl. Oh, I can smell the garlic. Very, very garlicky.
Yeah. I actually tasted something.
Can you put that in the sink for me, bud?
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, this is kind of nasty.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, so we're going to put this in the bowl. And again, this is going to make a lot of crackers. So if you can cut this recipe in half depending on how many trays your dehydrator has. Or what I used to do is I would make a big batch like this. Before we got the 9-tray dehydrator, we only had 2 trays that were flat, because you are going to want a flat tray to put these on because they're very liquidy.
When do you add that?
We're about to add that now. And then I would just make 2 trays and throw the rest in the refrigerator until I was ready to make more. Warren, you want to put that in the sink for me, bud?
Okay, I'm just looking for my water.
All right, so next you're going to take your flaxseed and measure out a half a cup. I like to use a coffee bean grinder.
A full cup.
Yeah, I can only do half a cup at a time, so we're going to do half a cup at a time. And put it in your coffee bean grinder, and then grind it up. You don't want to grind it too much because you will turn it into flaxseed butter. Ask me how I know. I've done that a few times. It's really difficult to get out of the coffee grinder once you turn it into butter. And again, so I do half a cup at a time.
Me and Arya just love these.
Your flaxseed is going to be what basically binds all this together. And so now you're just going to stir this up and stir the milled flaxseed into the rest of this recipe here. And as you can see, you have a nice cracker batter going. And this is quite a bit. This is a pretty big bowl. So this is quite a bit of batter, or I don't know, raw cracker recipe here. Then the only other thing you have to do is put these on the dehydrator tray and dehydrate them. So I'm just going to do one to show you guys how this works. Again, these are the trays from the Excalibur dehydrator, highly recommend. And then these we just bought on Amazon separately. I think they're, what are these made of?
Silicone.
I think they're silicone. And they just go right on top. I think they're 14 inches maybe. Maybe they're, I think it's 14. Yeah, about 14. And they just go on there. And that way, when you put this on here, it doesn't go through the little grated tray.
And it's easier to clean.
Way easier to clean. So you just take some of this and you can put it on here. I usually get them thin enough to where I can do about between 3 and 5 trays of flaxseed crackers. So this part is kind of the tricky part. It takes a while to get it nice and even and flat. Doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but the more even and flat these are, the better your final results are going to be. Quite half trays ready. I'm going to go take you over to the dehydrator and show you how to load these up. So we keep our food dehydrator in the laundry room because it's a little bit farther away from the kitchen and it runs all the time, so it's kind of nice to keep it, again, a little bit farther away. But this is the dehydrator. It's a 9-tray Excalibur food dehydrator, and as you can see, we have quite a bit of room. Oh, Evelyn's wanting to participate. Quite a bit of room with all 9 spots. You can do a lot of dehydrating. So I'm going to go get the rest of these trays. All right, and so the magic number is 118 degrees. And of course, with the temperature gauge on the top here, you can see that it very easily goes to 115. For the first 2 hours, I'm actually going to set this at 135 because they're so wet that it won't have any chance of the temperature going below because of the evaporation. So we'll go 135 for the first 2 hours, and then we'll come back and show you how to flip these over so that you can get them ready to finish out dehydrating and then cut. It's actually been 3 hours. I checked them at 2 hours and they were not quite ready, so I went ahead and put them back in for another hour. They should be ready to flip at this point, so I pulled them out. Now I have a separate tray with no, I can't remember what this thing's made of. Silicone, I believe. This is just the regular tray that comes with it. I'm going to put that on top, reach down and kind of pinch them, and then just flip it over. And then of course I can take this part off and then just peel off the flexible sheet here very carefully, making sure that the crackers aren't sticking to it, which was the problem 2 hours in. Still a little bit tacky, but I'm going to go ahead and keep going. It's normal to have some of it on the back there. Hey Aria, how are you? And so this sheet here, we'll just set this off to the side. And then you take this other one, again, put it on top, flip it over, and just peel it off. And then we'll stick these back in the dehydrator. I'm not exactly sure how long it takes these to be completely done, but I usually keep them in there overnight. So at least.
How did that become a circle?
Well, it didn't quite have enough to do a full tray, so I just smashed it in the form of a circle. And the other thing you can do is just take a pizza cutter and you can just score these in any shape that you like. And that way when they're completely done, the crackers break apart in whatever shape. If you want square, or you can do them in triangle, however you want to do them. And again, you don't have to push very hard with a pizza cutter, just a little bit to score and get the shape that you want. I'm really not that picky at all when it comes to these. Matter of fact, the first several batches I made, I didn't even score them. I would just wait till they were dry and then break them up into a bunch of pieces and store them that way. You can store them in the freezer or just in the cupboard. Again, if you do them overnight, they're going to be very dry. It's very humid where we live in the southeast United States, but again, when I pulled them out at 2 hours, they weren't quite ready. Now they're ready to flip. But that time gave me a little bit of extra time to make this salad. So I try to do one of these, at least one big salad every single day. This one has a bunch of organic greens, different spring mix greens in here. It has organic green onions, cherry tomatoes, sugar snap peas, carrots, blueberries, raisins, mushrooms, celery, yellow bell pepper, sprouts, white and black chia seeds, and hemp hearts. And I put a cashew hemp heart ranch dressing on this with a little bit of fresh pepper. Again, I've never been able to get full on a salad, but these things fill me up. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to eat an entire salad this size. So anyway, I'm going to throw these back in overnight and finish them up, and I'll show you guys the finished product tomorrow. All right, it's 3:30 in the morning. I just got up. This is my lemon ginger blast breakfast. I'll start my day every day with one of these. And these are the crackers. I just pulled them out of the dehydrator, and as you can see, they are perfectly dried and ready to store. I don't know if you can hear these things, but they're just cracking apart. So good. So definitely try making these. Just like most raw food recipes, you can adjust the ingredients to taste, but I've been tweaking this recipe for even before I went raw. Really, really good. Highly recommend. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the bell so you get notified every time we put a new video out. And please give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.